Hey, greetings. This is Bearded Biomed here. Wanted to go and get another video to you guys. So, I do intend to do a video specifically tailored to bad practices that I have observed being in field service by our OEMs that are demonstrably and just overall non-consumer friendly. Certain companies, I'll decide if I want to name them or not, taken upon themselves to charge hundreds of dollars per 30 minutes for tech support just to ask a question or to get a part number. We may not even need tech support's help in determining what the actual part is. What we need them usually is to identify their special part number so we can order the part from either one of their distributors or maybe a third party or from them themselves. However, a lot of the OEMs have decided, taken it upon themselves, to make it so difficult for anyone that is not signed up through a contract with them to not be able to play the game at all. And I understand this is your company's livelihood, this is your customer base, I get that. But let me tell you how that affects those systems not on contract. Yesterday, in fact, I have a customer that their unit went down, and this has been an ongoing trend with all of this particular model from this OEM. Their unit went down. This is a sterilization system, and a corporate office probably has about 5 or 6 of these units that they essentially, when they bought out their competitor or, absorbed their equipment, obviously this is what they got. Anywho, they have slowly just been start trickling, going down. If you do not have a contract with this OEM, it is, I believe, $5,000 or $6,000 just to send it in for them to work on it. To actually, as a Biomed, be able to assist in servicing this piece of equipment requires a $25,000 annual subscription to be able to pay to play. Now, need mind you, this facility doesn't use this all the time. Maybe once or twice a month. But it's such a specialized niche piece of equipment that I hear in the ecosystem, because I'm tuned into the Discords, I'm tuned into the the Facebook groups, the forums. My eyes are always on anything. So I see a lot of what's going on in the market. Everybody is saying the exact same thing I am about this particular company. And they're about to have a rude awakening with these terrible bad practices. I called in because I have a general idea of what the issue was. Because I don't have a technical manual, because they will not provide that either. They will not provide part numbers. They won't let you order part numbers. The only way that this machine's going to get serviced is if you order it directly through them. And the number one item that goes bad in this unit is a nebulizer. All the time. Number one thing. And at that point, it's not worth repairing it. But this particular unit happened to actually not have a nebulizer problem. It was throwing an error code basically because the door mechanism was not opening. And this was likely due to a sensor. But they would not confirm nor deny or pinpoint me in the way to go. Well, luckily, I had some other units that I could pull parts from, because this particular model of theirs continuously keeps going down for the same issues. I figured it out. We got the part replaced, and I fixed that issue. This is just one OEM, by the way. There are other OEMs out there that, I mean, we all know in the Biomed space that we constantly have to use our backdoor channels to obtain service literature, maybe a part number, maybe, you know, rely on our manufacturer-trained Biomed technicians that were a part of their ecosystem for a time being and are familiar with how to navigate or what to do. Which is why whenever I talk about right to repair, it has nothing to do with the Biomeds, with that OEM, because they're the ones saving our asses. They're the ones that are giving us and sharing the information to allow us to support our customers, to continue keeping these medical facilities up and running, so that way it's not affecting patient care. So, first off, I want to say thank you to all of the, you know who you are, the OEM field technicians or the technical support that goes out of their way or, you know, helps out the community to get us that information so that way we can keep moving. Thank you. And I've made my position pretty clear on how I feel about right to repair. The Biomed in general will follow whatever we need to do to get a hold of these parts. But most of the time, the cases that I keep coming up again and again and again are that the manufacturer just flat out says that we're too incompetent to be able to service medical equipment when we are working on multiple modalities that are similar to your unit and fixing life-saving critical equipment day in, day out across the United States. So the argument from these OEMs and their lobbyists and certain organizations, you know who you are, that continue to funnel this FUD into the market is asinine. There has been slow growth in understanding that we need to be able to fix our stuff. At some point, once the person buys the equipment, they should be able to support taking care of it. At some point, at some level, that's the singular goal. And this is encompassing everything that we have within our lives as consumers. Medical equipment especially, which is what I'm talking about. But the right to repair goes so much further than just medical equipment. But that's what I care about because that's my job. That's my purpose. At some point, we're going to need to sit down and have the discussion. OEMs on one side of the table, service technicians, our community on the other side, and decide what are the rules of engagement. What are the parameters that we can work together and collaborate with? While I was at the AMI Exchange in San Antonio a few weeks ago, I spoke with CBET, College of Biomedical Equipment Technology, and they are making incredible strides that I think are going to set us in the right direction for having that discussion. So, if you're not familiar with them, they are a online option for biomedical training. And what is fascinating is they have taken a route into virtual reality, utilizing the Oculus system. I'm just getting shredded with rocks apparently. Thank you, 18-wheeler in front of me. Utilizing virtual reality, they're able to train people, hands-on training, into some of these really elaborate and sophisticated pieces of equipment. When I was speaking to them, they were saying that probably within the next year and a half, we're going to be seeing MRI, CT, ultrasound, all kinds of training. They were saying Siemens was going up to them to get their technicians involved in this training. Because at the end of the day, I know there's a whole lot of different discussion about what the OEMs, issue with us getting in to servicing their equipment. And they want to spout safety because, they have to make it political. They have to make it, concern to the consumer that us Biomeds out there putting you at risk if we're working on their stuff. No. The number one reason is them releasing their stranglehold on the market. Them giving up their costs, their margins, to allow us to take care of our healthcare facilities. So what makes this so interesting with the CBET perspective is that by them bringing in manufacturers to essentially not have to worry about paying, flying out technicians, having somebody actually physically in person to go through a training and allowing them to do virtual reality training through their particular modality, this will save them a lot of money. And by subsidizing the money that they're saving through training, it could possibly open doors to where we can have conversations on them allowing us, opportunities to work together or collaborate or possibly, loosen the reins a little bit just so we can get a freaking technical manual so we can properly troubleshoot something. And that goes back to what annoys me so much when I hear certain lobbies, organizations out there saying that we're going to put patient care and patient safety at risk. We're asking for technical manuals. We're asking to be able to dive into schematics, dive into proper PM procedures, dive into understanding certain error codes and what to do with them. Someone that's going to put someone at risk isn't willing to dive into a manual, isn't willing to do the extra research like a Biomed is to ensure that we're doing it correctly and to standard. I know I probably come off as agitated, but it's more of this is important to me. This is really, this affects so much to the patient, to the consumer, to healthcare facilities, that a lot of people don't realize what's happening in our medical, infrastructure right now. I mean, we have multiple bills that are just sitting there. The Senate doesn't really want to do anything to agree to this. I know we had a little bit of headway with New York approving some right to repair measures, but I don't believe medical was included in that. I foresee ultimately that this is going to fall on the FDA. The FDA is going to end up having to make the decision on what to do with this, which I believe is the right way to go. The problem is, until that happens, we're sitting in a standstill, looking at each other, not wanting to give any kind of concession or make any kind of conversation begin, because we don't know where we stand yet until these bills go one way or the other. So, like I said, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be bringing on a lot of guests. I mean, hopefully you're familiar with the podcast already. I'm available on Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere you stream podcasts, I'm on there. But I want to go ahead and add a video component. So that's the birth of this channel. And I do fully intend to bring evidence, obviously it's my opinion, but I'm also going to bring facts. And I'm going to show you as maybe someone that might not be in the medical realm, maybe somebody that doesn't have insight into some of the garbage that's currently we are having to navigate through to make sure that medical devices are fully functional, so hospitals can continue doing the amazing treatment that they're doing. I'm currently putting together a lot of like my little studio at home, so I can start doing, you know, more formal video podcasts on here. It's not always going to be me in a car talking. It's going to be a lot more professional going forward, I promise you. But as for right now, I want to talk to you guys and let you know my thoughts. Let the community know through YouTube, you know, where I stand, my thoughts, and just kind of start the dialogue. With Right to Repair, the only way we're going to make some headway is through conversation, with relaying ideas, sharing our thoughts on the subject. And I'm still optimistic that we will eventually make some kind of headway. Just right now, it's a bit difficult. So that's just my 2 cents for today. Like I said, would encourage you to like, subscribe, comment down in the section if you have any particular stories as a biomed, having difficulty, you know, servicing your facility's medical equipment, you taking care of your customers, or maybe as a patient, somebody just out there in the regular realm. If you had questions like, you know, what exactly are some of the issues? What are biomedical equipment technicians such as myself dealing with on a day-to-day basis that a lot of people just they're not aware of? And also, this goes back to a lot of people don't know that we're out there doing this day to day. So I look forward to continuing the conversation, bringing y'all a lot more lighthearted and fun content as well. But this has been a really heavy topic point for me this month, just because I keep running into it with so many OEMs. So I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. I am your host, the Bearded Biomed. Stay tuned for actual structured video podcasts coming to a YouTube channel near you. Take care. Have a good day.